which seem to be in a difficult position right now, let's move on to Juventus and Pirlo's Juventus. I did some digging around and I found Pirlo's thesis for his UEFA Pro license. And the thesis is titled "How I Want to Play Football." Very fancy title, Pirlo, as always.
Straight to the point.
Yep. So here's some key pointers I want to point out. Pirlo's inspirations: Johan Cruyff's Barcelona, Pep Guardiola's Barcelona, Louis van Gaal's Ajax, Carlo Ancelotti's Milan, Antonio Conte's Juventus. One team which really sticks out to me there is Louis van Gaal's Ajax, because now some people may not remember this, but Louis van Gaal's Ajax was one of the greatest teams of all time. They went invincible across all competitions, winning almost everything except for the domestic cup, where they lost one game. Now, what does this mean? What do these influences result in the way that Pirlo wants to play his football? Three things. The first is total football. Total football is that all 11 players are attacking, all 11 players are defending. And when it comes to depth, which is the last of his attacking principles, he always wants one man to make the run in behind to create options or create space between the lines. A two-man front line where one player drops while the other attacks the space suits this very well. And we see that with Juventus right now, where they're utilizing a two-man front line. Now, this is where the two-man front line of Juventus kind of become a bit problematic. So when it comes to defending, Pirlo's first principle is he doesn't want to concede. He wants to win back quickly. And winning ball higher up the pitch is crucial to him, because that helps him, A, get into dangerous positions, and B, in his own words, limit the courage and self-esteem of his opponents. The man who loses the ball initiates a press, but he may not tackle. Instead, he will look to cut inside passing lanes, so then the opposition is forced to pass the ball out wide, and as soon as the ball is passed out wide, that's a trigger for Pirlo's team to begin a man-oriented press to slowly force the opposition to be forced into making a long ball, right? Send a long ball through, which then the keeper can come and pick up. This is the big problem with this whole system, and this is what we're seeing at Juventus. There is a man in Pirlo's front line named Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the best players of all time, who is currently riding off into the sunset. He does not have the legs to press the way Pirlo wants. So what happens to this defensive philosophy which Pirlo has? Well, Juventus is forced to basically tuck in and give up that higher ground. And rather than pressing high up the pitch, they're playing very compactly in front of their own goal, which would be fine because Juventus have some amazing defenders. They're very tactically gifted. However, remember, Pirlo only wants one player wide at all times. So therefore, in this situation, defensively, they're extremely vulnerable out wide because there will only be one player out there defending. And there is a fullback named Juan Cuadrado, who is a great player going forward. But let's be honest, and we saw this when he was at Chelsea, and we are seeing this now at Juventus. He's not defensively very solid, and teams have realized that, and they're exposing him over and over again. The other problem with this is that currently Juventus' black line has Chiellini and Bonucci, who are both pretty old, and they're starting. They're very crucial to Juventus, especially Chiellini. In fact, Chiellini is, I think, one of their top 3 passers into the final third, which just goes to show his importance. But he's old. He's losing a lot of that pace, a lot of that quickness, and teams are exploiting that. Teams are exploiting the slowness of that Juventus' backline and exploiting the weakness of Cuadrado out wide defending. Now, this problem could be solved if Juventus had a younger backline, and someone like De Ligt is going to help out with that. But also, really, this problem should not even exist in the first place, because Juventus should have, under Pirlo, because of what Pirlo's philosophy is, should have 2 energetic strikers who can initiate the press and be the first defenders. But you cannot put Cristiano Ronaldo on the bench. He wins games on his own at times, which is the Ronaldo dilemma now, right? And this has been really why Juventus is struggling currently. They have 4 wins and I think four losses.
No, it's four wins, 4 draws so far.
4 draws.
They're still undefeated in the league.
Yeah, but it's gonna take time for these ideas to really meld in with the squad.